Good evening, and welcome to the Human Rights Commission regular meeting. Today is Monday, February 13, and it is 5:30 p.m. Welcome. I would like to bring the meeting to order, and the first item today is to welcome the Honor Guard, who will lead us into the Pledge of Allegiance. Welcome. Join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag and the Republic of America, which stands one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order. Arms. Side. Face. March.
Please have a seat. Jay, let's do a roll call, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Commissioner Vignola.
Present.
Commissioner Cleary.
Present.
Commissioner Flood.
Present.
Commissioner Ramaran.
Present.
Vice Chair Shepard.
Present.
Chair Loyola.
Present.
Student Representative Hanner.
I'm present.
Thank you. We have a quorum, Mr.
We have
Chair.
quorum. Thank you very much. All right, let's move on to item 3, the acceptance of the agenda. Do I have a motion to accept the agenda? Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Any discussion? Let's take a vote. Raise your hand to accept it.
No.
Okay. So the agenda has been accepted. I'd like to start by reminding us of the mission of the Human Rights Commission. The mission of the Palm Springs Human Rights Commission is to promote and protect the diversity of our community and to improve human relations through education and community awareness. Next slide, please. So welcome to our 2023 Community Service Award ceremony. It's great to have you here today. Today's meeting is a wonderful opportunity for the human rights community and all our diversity to come together and understand the values that drive the work that we do during the year. Thank you all for being with us. Please welcome our distinguished guest, our Mayor, Grace Gardner, and our Council Member, Rhonda Hart. Our commissioners here today include our Vice Chair, Donna Shepard, our Commissioner, Glenn Flood, Commissioner Edward Ramaran, Commissioner David Vignola, Commissioner Oliver Cleary, and our wonderful student representative, Lily Hanner. We welcome our city staff colleagues, Annie Rodriguez, Housing Program Assistant, and our staff liaison, Jay Varada, Director of Community and Economic Development. To start off the program, please welcome our Mayor, Grace Gardner, who would provide a few remarks. Welcome. Can you do that? Oh, yeah.
Good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here with all of you today to celebrate our award nominees and their accomplishments. The Community Service Awards are given to people or organizations for their outstanding contributions promoting and protecting human rights, social progress, better standards of life, and equality for all. The honorees are diverse in their contributions. They do work with active duty military and veterans, LGBT folks, including youth, and holding and hosting gay proms. They open up their restaurant to those in need, whether it's to have food or to promote a new event or an organization that is looking for funding. They support the HIV positive community and helping them with as they age. And they create low-impact workout classes. Oh, and as well, we also have the founder of a gay band in Palm Springs. So we've got it all with the people that are being represented today, which is really special. So I'm impressed with all of your accomplishments, and I know that Hugo and the Commission will speak more about your individual contributions. But thank you all for what you do for our city, for being valuable residents and contributors. We're just so thankful for everything that you have done and will continue to do for our city.
Thank you, Mayor Gardner. Those wonderful remarks. Okay. So this meeting marks the 30th anniversary of the City of Palm Springs Human Rights Commission. Today is about the community. We celebrate the contributions and achievements with the City of Palm Springs. Human Rights Commission Community Service Awards are presented to this incredible group of people and organizations. The city, our community, organizations, and every individual play a critical role in ensuring fundamental rights and are realized for all of our residents. Since the Commission was established 30 years ago with a mandate to monitor the city's performance in meeting its human rights obligations, our role then, as it is now, is to promote respect for the rights and dignity of everyone in Palm Springs, and to work with others to help build communities that are fair and inclusive. This dedicated commission stands ready to support the goals of and to serve our City Council. Through the years, when people face discrimination, harassment, or human rights breaches, the Commission has been there to provide information and to mediate complaints. Many positive changes have taken place, but in today's political climate, we see real changes remain. Human rights is not an ancient history. It is about today's reality of suffering and unjust actions. We seek constructive, respectful conversations to try and bridge these differences. We all have a role to account for the compliance with human rights laws and basic principles that prohibit discrimination on the grounds of age, sex, race, color, religion, or national origin, gender, gender identity, gender expression, sexual orientation, or disability. The Commission has been engaged in the community from its very beginning. In October 1993, the Human Rights Commission led discussions on racial tension in the community, facilitated communication between Sunline Transit Agency and the disability community. Early areas of focus for the Commission included domestic abuse, hate crimes, protection of senior citizens, and access to housing for all. In 1999, the Commission was instrumental in working with the City Council to adopt the Declaration of Policy for the Protection of Human Dignity and Prevention of Hate Crimes. The next year, the Domestic Partnership Ordinance was presented to the council and approved on January 5th, 2000. Culminating the efforts of the Human Rights Commission to address homeless issues in the city, on May 3rd, 2000, the council adopted a policy for addressing the issues of poverty and the homeless. In 2002, the commission was the first city commission to establish a position for youth representatives to serve. This tradition continues today, and now youth service is open to other city commissions. After laws passed in 2000 and 2001 by the state mandating that school districts were to provide safe school environments for all students, the commission led the effort to provide training so that Palm Springs high school students could establish the first gay-straight allegiance on campus. The commission even assisted in submitting the application so that the campus GSA would be recognized as part of the national GSA network. The commission has provided community education, training, and forums where numerous topics have been addressed, including homelessness, mental illness, elder abuse, supporting caregivers, preventing domestic abuse, the DREAM Act, the media and discrimination, and women's participation in city government. The Commission has responded to important issues and many opportunities to educate, which have included presentations on religious intolerance, women's issues, the Patriot Act, hate crimes, gay veterans, court-appointed special advocates, cultural proficiency, human trafficking, gender-neutral bathrooms, transgender rights, racism in our community, and persons with disabilities, ageism and the rights of seniors and dependent adults. Since the Community Service Awards were first presented on December 6, 2001, they have held a high standard and a rich history of inspirational and prestigious winners. The 2023 Human Rights Commission Community Service Awards are presented to some extraordinary individuals and an organization who made outstanding contributions to our community. They shine a light on injustice and give voice to those who are rarely heard. They work to stop racism, to save our natural and cultural resources. They advocate for older people. They promote fair and respectful treatment of women. They fight to end discrimination based on sexual orientation and gender identity. And they work to close the gap on health inequality. If you can say nothing or do nothing, nothing changes. The honorees are not to say nothing kind of people. They are the heart of our community. And we're going to move on to the presentations. Can we go to the next slides, please? Next slide. Okay. Our first honoree is none other than Betty Cotton. And to present Betty with her award is our Vice Chair, Donna Shepard. I'd like to introduce you to her.
Thank you, Hugo. Betty, we'd love to welcome you to the stage while I'm talking about you. Yes. Betty is recognized for promoting human rights throughout the Coachella Valley. She has reached out and positively impacted active duty military members and veterans who have visited the local American Legion post from across the state of California and the nation. Ms. Cotton greets all visitors with kindness, grace, humor, and love. She has volunteered in the position of greeter for nearly 20 years. She makes veterans and active duty personnel feel at home when they are often far away from their own homes. She has provided information to those seeking help and advice on issues of homelessness, food insecurity, drug and alcohol problems, and many other areas that affect human rights. The 2023 Community Service Award is presented by the Palm Springs Human Rights Commission to Betty Cotton. Congratulations.
He said, "Would you like to say a few words?" I'm so flabbergasted, I don't know what to say. But I have probably one of the nicest jobs anybody could ever ask for at that American Legion. They treat me wonderfully. These people walk in, and I just so enjoy their friendship. And they treat me, like I said, so nicely that they can't get rid of me. I won't go. I just won't go. But again, like I said, it's given me a life. My husband passed away many, many years ago. And after that, I thought, what am I going to do with myself? And then I found the American Legion. And by golly darn, I'm there to stay. Believe me.
Congratulations, Betty. Watch your step. Just watch your step.
Don't get old, whatever you do. Don't get
Congratulations, Betty. One more round of applause for Betty, please. Okay. Our next honoree is none other than Tori St. John's. And to present Tori with her award, we have our wonderful student representative, Representative Lily Hanner.
Hello. Okay. Our next honoree is Tori St. John's. Tori is recognized for her many years of advocacy and her work in support of the LGBTQ+ youth. Tori has been involved with supporting youth and advocating for LGBTQ+ youth in the Coachella Valley for at least 3 decades. In 1998, she co-founded Gay Associated Youth and is currently on the board of Safe Schools Desert Cities, which empowers LGBTQ+ youth and facilitates the Rainbow Youth Summit in March, Pride Prom in May, Palm Springs Pride Youth Zone, and other LGBTQ+ leadership trainings. This will be Tori's 26th year at Desert Sands Unified School District as a student assistance program helping all students. Tori has also been involved in the formation of activities of the Gay Street Alliance clubs at 5 high schools in DSUSD and the GSA in the Coachella Valley. Please welcome Tori St. John's, who is recognized with the Community Service Awards for 2023.
Would you like to say a few words?
Sure. Thank you, everybody. You know you're all responsible for this, too. It's like family sitting right here in the front row and over here, too. Thank you, everybody. I couldn't do this by myself. I'm so honored. I'm so blessed. I just am so grateful that I've been allowed to do this work with LGBT youth for this long. We've made a difference, all of you together. I absolutely, and you all know, I couldn't. Ron, you've been there for the kids. It was your vision for them to be in Pride in the youth zone, and you've taken us and we've spent so much money going to San Diego Pride and the youth zone here, Rainbow Youth Summit. Just this Saturday, we went off and picked a new location for camp, June 8th through the 11th, if any of you are available. PFLAG, we couldn't do it without you. We couldn't do this without you. David Powell couldn't do it without you. David's reading scholarship applications. I don't know why he's here. He should be home doing that. Brett, you've been, since day one, you have been there. So thank you. Thank you all. Thank you. This is your award, too. Thank you for letting me be a small part of it.
Thank you so much, Tori. Congratulations. Bravo. Thank you, Tori, for those words. Our next honoree is Dan Gore. And to present Dan's award, we have Commissioner Glenn Flood.
Thank you. Dan Gore is the owner of Oscar's Palm Springs, and for the past 7 years, Dan has hosted an annual Christmas cheer feast to brighten the spirits of those who may be apart from friends and family or are otherwise disenfranchised. The restaurant serves about 100 free breakfasts on Christmas morning to anyone in our community experiencing housing and food insecurity. The food is served by a group of more than 40 volunteers, and our local radio station, KGAY 106.5, provides music and an MC on site. Housing insecurity in Palm Springs has been a growing issue, and according to census data, about 17% of residents live in poverty. Dan starts his Christmas morning at about 6 a.m., or 0:30 in military jargon, walking around downtown and spreading the word that Oscars will be serving free breakfast. Please welcome Dan Gora, who is recognized for the Community Service Award for 2023.
Well, thank you everyone for coming in. It's funny, I do start my Christmas morning very, very early because most of the homeless do not know we're serving breakfast because it's not like they come to Oscars and they're my customers. So I rely on a lot of my customers to tell the homeless that we are serving breakfast, and then I get up very early and just go and wake people up I see on the streets and let them know that we'll be serving breakfast. I have to tell a funny story because, you know, I do this really in pursuit of just helping people. You know, when I had a platform to do it, I never did it in pursuit of recognition, just for really, you know, human equality and making sure everyone had the same things that I grew up with. But when Hugo called me and left me a message many times at one of my restaurants, I'm like, oh, JFC. I was like, who is this person and what does he want? And I saw the 917 number, so I'm like, well, I'm gonna wait till it's very late on the West Coast to call the solicitor. And I called him, you know, what I'm thinking is almost midnight, so I'm waking him up because his message was very terse. He said, I can't seem to get a hold of you. I'm not sure what I'm trying you here because I tried you at Oscars. And so then when I called him back, you know, he started his pitch by just saying, I'm sorry, but I've been really trying to reach you. I'm like, what do you need? What do you want? What are you selling? And then when he told me what it was about, I was very embarrassed by it. So I apologize. Thank you all very much. And for all my tea dancers, thank you very much for your support.
Thank you, Dan. Appreciate you so much. Yeah, as I mentioned to you during the dinner, I was like, and I wasn't on the East Coast, and I wasn't trying to sell you anything. So very happy that you all took that call. Our next honoree is PFLAG Palm Springs Desert Communities, and this award is being presented by Commissioner David Vignola.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. PFLAG is the first and largest organization dedicated to supporting, educating, and advocating for LGBTQ+ people and their families. PFLAG's expanded mission is to create a caring, just, and affirming world for LGBTQ+ people and all those who love and support them. June 25th, 2022 marked 50 years since PFLAG founder Jean Manford's historic march with her son, prominent gay activist Morty Manford, at the 1972 Christopher Street Liberation March. The Palm Springs Desert Communities chapter of PFLAG was founded in 1995 by George and Jackie Spencer, who we are honored to have with us this evening, and I'd like to recognize them. And the Palm Springs Desert Communities chapter of PFLAG has been instrumental in promoting human rights in our community ever since. Recognized with the 2023 Community Service Award, please join me in welcoming the co-presidents of Palm Springs Desert Communities chapter of PFLAG, Sly Zelnis and Christine Hammond.
I have a few things to say. Thank you, Hugo. On behalf of PFLAG Palm Springs Desert Communities, thank you, commissioners, for this award. it is humbling to be in the company of these amazing people. And we thank you and say congratulations to all of you as well. 2023 is a landmark year for PFLAG. Yes, 2022 was the historic march by Jean Manford in the Christopher Street Parade. 2023 is the 50th anniversary of the establishment of PFLAG by the Manfords. And it has been 30 plus years since George and Jackie Spencer brought the budding Idlewild San Jacinto chapter of PFLAG to the desert, and in, as David mentioned, 1995 officially started the Palm Springs Desert Communities PFLAG chapter. And we are very happy to have George and Jackie in the audience with us tonight, as well as long-term, now retired co-presidents, Carol and Mike Balassa. I just ask you to stand for a moment so that we can applaud you. Thank you. In the mid-1990s, there were few resources for LGBTQI plus people, their families, friends, and other allies. And now in 2023, we celebrate the many resources that are available, particularly here in Palm Springs and the western Coachella Valley. And it is really in that spirit of celebration that PFLAG Palm Springs is taking down our sign and closing up the chapter in the next few months. What an amazing journey we've shared with many of you over the years. At the same time, we are so hopeful that young families in the East Valley, Yucca Valley, Joshua Tree, and beyond will pick up the PFLAG torch and reignite it in those areas that are in most need of the services and support that PFLAG can offer. So on behalf of the Board of Directors and all of us at PFLAG PS, we thank you, Human Rights Commission, for this honor, and to Palm Springs Desert Communities for your support of us, LGBTQ plus people, and those who love them. Thank you.
Beautifully said. Very well deserved. Our next honoree is Jace Nagaya. And to present Jace with this award, we have our Commissioner, Edwin Ramaran.
Thank you, Chair Loyola. Congratulations, Jace Nagaya. Jace rose to the occasion and created Endeavor, a group to help vulnerable populations live happier, healthier lives. Jace Nagaya sought his fitness professional certification during the pandemic because he saw the impact of COVID as communities of color who live with health disparities. Jace started Endeavor to provide the community with a low-impact fitness course taught in Demuth Park and has been teaching the group fitness class since 2021. The classes are free, removing the barrier of income to residents who now benefit from personal instruction, but might not otherwise be able to afford a membership to a traditional gym or a personal trainer. As a person of color who at times felt like an outsider in the fitness world, Jace understands the importance of representation. His mission is to create and promote a diverse fitness environment that is inclusive of everyone, regardless of age, body type, fitness level, gender identity, or ethnicity. Jace wants everyone to feel welcome to wellness so that they can focus on what is most important, their health. Recognized for his giving spirit and support of the community in good times and through the complex COVID-19 crisis, Jace Nagaya is the recipient of the City of Palm Springs Human Rights Commission 2023 Community Service Award. Congratulations.
If I may switch spots with you, I have a little bit.
You, whatever you want. You're the honoree.
All right, and of course I forgot my readers at home. Usually when I'm in front of a mic, I'm making you guys do exercises, so this is a nice little change. Let's see, so first, it's an honor being up here. Congratulations to my fellow honorees for your amazing contributions to our community. I feel so lucky to share this with you. The definition of endeavor is a sincere attempt or a determined effort towards a specific goal. I'd like to share a quick story about a young Indian girl named Eunice living in the Fiji Islands in the late 50s. Eunice loved sports and wanted to play basketball. At the time, basketball was still a male-dominated sport. So women's teams were still new and frowned upon. As she tried to find the right team that she could join, she struggled finding a place where she could fit in. Most of the teams were all native Fijian, and it made her feel like an outcast for being Indian. Eunice wasn't going to let racism or misogyny stop her. So she started her own team, and as captain of that team, led them to many victories. It was only fitting that she named her team Endeavor. That young lady, Eunice, is my mom. Fast forward several decades, and there I was, a newly certified fitness instructor having difficulty finding a fitness environment where I felt like I could fit in and didn't feel pushed out. The fitness world can sometimes have a look that's very homogenous, and it could leave someone who is different, like me, feeling like they don't fit in. So I decided to look for an opportunity in my situation and create a fitness environment that I wanted to see. Through representation, I wanted to create a diverse, inclusive environment that carried my energy so that people like me could have a judgment-free, safe space to work out. And that is how Endeavor began. My journey wasn't an easy one, but one that we can all learn from. When I first started teaching, I received support from many, but there were some who didn't want me to teach and in fact tried to stop me. I was even a victim of a racially motivated hate crime a month into my class. But in life, if you really want something, the universe is going to test you. While there were times I considered giving up, I chose to push forward. You may be thinking, wow, this happened in Palm Springs? Yes, it did. In fact, it's something that people of color and minorities deal with regularly. It made what I was doing much more important. Representation matters. Today, my class is a safe space to many great members of our community looking to stay active and be healthy. People can come and go as they wish, and I absolutely love watching people thrive in the environment that I created. Everyone is welcome. So I'd like to thank a few people. First, the Human Rights Commission, the City of Palm Springs, Parks and Recreation, Jasmine Waits, Janice Lopez, Grace Garner, Dennis Woods, and our wonderful City Council. So many others who have valued and supported the work that we are doing. In a world where many of us struggle to be seen, thank you for seeing us. Next, I'd like to thank the man that put me on this journey, Mr. Ted Geis. Ted gave me my first teaching opportunity. He moved his fitness class outdoors at the peak of the pandemic to give people a place to work out. It paved the way for people like me to create an impact. I remember one evening, he was sitting with me and he looked over and he goes, you know, I think you'd be a great instructor. And sometimes that's all you need to hear. And of course, as soon as I got my certification, he had me ready to teach for him a week later. And here I am with my own class, so I hope I made him proud. Next, I'd like to thank two of my best friends, Will Dean, Steve Hinkey, who have stood by me even when things have gone difficult, and you kept pushing me forward. I appreciate you. I love you. And to all my friends and community members, and everyone else who have supported me, my class, my beautiful class. Carol, I see you out there. Thank you. I mean, you have just made this awesome. So I wanna end this the same way that I end my class. So if you don't mind, would you all please stand? All right. Arms to the side, chest out, look up towards that ceiling, close those eyes, and just bring it to full presence. Just appreciate being here, sharing this moment together. Remember to be kind, not only to others, but to yourselves. Remember to be present. Yesterday's gone, tomorrow's not here. Just be in the moment and appreciate who's in front of you, what's in front of you. Remember to be grateful, because we live in a beautiful city with beautiful people, safe and sound. At Endeavor, what you carry on your shoulders, you can leave there. It's a safe space in a world where we need more safe spaces. Tonight, my cup runneth over. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you for taking the time to listen to me. This is awesome. Thank you.
That was beautiful, Matthew. That was wonderful. Congratulations. Thank you, Jace. That was awesome. See, this is the kind of thing you can do on Zoom. Thank you and congratulations, Jace. Our next honoree is Brett Klein. And to present Brett with this award, we have Commissioner Oliver Cleary.
Brett has worked beside business and community leaders, volunteers, and service groups for over 30 years. He is the past president of the HIV Plus Aging Research Project, which is focused on HIV-positive aging research studies to improve the lives of those living with and affected by the disease. Brett has served on the board of Dining Out for Life International, coordinates an annual dining fundraiser event raising money for community-based organizations serving people living with or impacted by HIV. He has been involved with AIDS Life Cycle for over 23 years as a writer and roadie volunteer. Brett is recognized as a biking advocate, helping to enhance the safety of biking in Palm Springs. And he did share with me that that's the green lanes that we have on our roads all over today. That's why we have them. And I rode in the Tour de Palm Springs this weekend, so I can really appreciate biking now more than before. Brett has served on the Palm Springs Sustainability Commission and strongly believes in building connections as a service leader when it comes to his personal and business life. Congratulations. Our next honoree is Brett Klein.
All right, and for those who know me normally, I might be like Jace, I might have actually something prepared, but which was so wonderful. I just want to first say thank the Human Rights Commission, every honoree, and all the honorees in the audience for their selfless and dedicated passion. And this is life for them. This isn't, they don't say it, but I know from my heart that this is what they started as children, this is what they've learned throughout their life, this is who they are at their core. I feel that way. I grew up in a family of service individuals, my parents, my grandparents, it was all about others, all about giving back. I worked on a farm. It's employing those who couldn't find work and could not, from other countries, find employment in our country. Making them feel comfortable, giving them shelter, doing those kind of things. And so when I tested positive for HIV in May of 93, 30 years this year, I thought I had a year to live. I thought for sure things were over. And then I realized through some wonderfully passionate and empathetic friends and dedication that they showed me that the future, whether it be a day, whether it be years, whatever it looks like, is in front of you, and go for it. So now 30 years later, as I said, I'm candidly wearing the proud jersey that I wear on AIDS Life Cycle. I've done it for 23 years. I'm heavily involved in cycling, as we know, HIV and aging, and those living and surviving in our community with HIV is a passion of mine. It's a passion of many people in this audience, who I'm very proud to call colleagues, from Desert Healthcare District, from DAP Health, Eisenhower Health, my employee, many friends, PFLAG, everyone who is looking at these individuals and saying, this isn't just the past. The quilts, AIDS quilts, those things aren't history. They are now current. They are coming, they're still here, they're still going forward, and we have so many individuals, especially in our East Valley and underserved communities, who don't know their status. And so thankfully with our medical providers, we are out there doing this work. The voice is out there. I will continue to be that voice. And so thank you very much, and the commission and our city council for allowing me the pulpit to say that.
Very well said. Very well said. Thank you for those words, Brett. And our next honoree is Gary Moline. Gary is our final honoree this evening. Welcome. Thank you. Thank you. And I will be so honored to present him with this award. And I'll set the record right, because evidently we had a little bit of math issues with the many years that he has served. But he is credited with forming the Palm Springs Desert Winds Freedom Band 22 years ago in 2001. After 25 years in the San Francisco Bay Area, Gary and his husband Larry, who's here present with us, moved to Palm Springs. They discovered that there was a gay men's chorus, but no gay band. How is that? They put up flyers, secured a recruitment booth at the Palm Springs Pride Festival, held organizational meetings, and began rehearsing with only 8 musicians. Gary's vision paid off when the first formal concert with 25 musicians was held at the Church of St. Paul in Palm Springs. The Desert Winds Freedom Band has grown into a full-fledged symphonic concert band, jazz band, marching band, and several small ensembles. The band participates in many community activities. The membership is as diverse as the audiences that they enjoy hearing the band perform. Please, everyone, welcome Gary Moline, who is recognized with the Community Service Award for 2023.
Well, I don't have as much to say as some people have, and I'm really honored to be here. I wouldn't have imagined this would have happened at all, but you know, I was a little farm boy in Iowa, and I started playing tuba when I was in 8th grade, and went to the University of Northern Iowa and got a BA in music education, and I taught for about 6 years in the Midwest. And I decided I didn't want to be a gay boy living in the Midwest at that time. It's just in the 60s and 70s. And so I moved to San Francisco. And there I was a charter member of the San Francisco Gay Band, which at that time was called the San Francisco Gay Freedom Day Twirling Band, Marching Band and Twirling Corps. It was only established just to march in the parade, and the first parade was in 1978 with Harvey Milk. So, fast forward many years, after 25 years of living in the Bay Area and working in the financial industry, my husband, who's sitting in the front row, who is my rock and love for over 30 years, said, I don't want to do this anymore. So he retired. He was able to retire, and I wasn't. So moved to Palm Springs and I was still working and had my little office and a kitchen and a condo that we were leasing. And I came home one day and I said to him, I want to start a gay band. He said, oh, okay. So we did. We put up flyers and so forth. And our first rehearsal was with 8 people at the Rancho Mirage Chamber of Commerce before it moved to its new location. So now it has grown. It has grown into a band, a symphonic concert band, jazz band, marching band, pep band, different ensembles. And the last concert was over 100 people on stage, musicians on stage. And I sort of bowed out of the leadership role and the directing role in about 2007. And we've now had our artistic director, who is in the back there, Dean McDowell. Would you please stand up? I've had a habit of taking groups about as far as I could take them, and then it was time for someone else to step in. So what Dean has built is something amazing. But I also want to say that we've done more also with our 501c3 mission, and that's to open to being a very diverse organization. So we have gay, lesbian, straight, bi, anything. So, and I can't remember all the acronyms anymore. So, and that's one of the reasons that we decided when we founded the band not to put gay in the title. We called it the Desert Winds Freedom Band. At that time, freedom bands were the big name of different groups. So, oh my goodness, there's so many things that I could say. We put on 3 or 4 concerts a year. The last one was at the Richards Center for the Performing Arts. We have another one coming up March 25th and 26th. That's a spring concert. And we do an outreach to the junior highs and high schools in the Coachella Valley, and every year bring in a guest clinician. This year it's Richard Saucedo, I believe, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, who is an arranger, composer, clinician, very well known in the band world. And he goes out and works with the high school groups, and then he also is a conductor on our spring concert. We give scholarships every year to graduating seniors who apply for it. I think it's a $1,000 scholarship if the graduating senior is continuing on in a music education career of some kind. So I think that's about all that I can think of saying right now. I have some things written out, but this is not the place or time. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Wow. So many years of service in this particular room. Thank you all for what you do. Human rights advocacy is not for the faint-hearted, but I urge you all to speak up. In an age of reimagined truth, it's more important than ever that we counter the distortion of facts and abuse of rights, the spin in the media and in politics by presenting the evidence and standing up for the rule of law. Human rights are not the domain of left or right politics. They're there to protect the most vulnerable in our communities, to equalize the imbalances between the powerful and the powerless, and to advance fairness and equality for us all. In these days, we need to reach back to those we've left behind to ensure that they have a voice and are integrated into all that our society can offer. Every person, no matter their background, has dignity and value. Everyone has human rights, and those rights must be protected. Let's understand the rule of law and the maintenance of human rights are connected, and that about 57% of the world's population live outside the protection of the rule of law. That's more than 4 billion people struggling for basic human rights on a daily basis. We can do better. Fundamental human rights not only evolve through common law, They reflect community standards, freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, and equality of all before the law. Finally, as we work to ensure fundamental rights are realized for all, let us in Palm Springs respect and rely on the common sense and goodwill of those who live here, because change happens when we all work together. On behalf of our wonderful commission, our gratitude and thanks to all the honorees who are contributed to advancing human rights in their own way. And thank you for coming along and supporting the honorees. We conclude by saying what a privilege it's been for me and all of the commissioners to serve the city and the community. And thanks again to our city liaison, Jay Varada, and Annie Rodriguez, who keeps the mission going strong. Thank you for a wonderful program this evening. Blessings. And before we move to adjourn the meeting, for the honorees, you can take your boxes so you can protect your awards, and hopefully we can have some photos as a group. We're going to move to adjournment. Do we have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I'll make a motion to adjourn the
Okay,
meeting.
any second?
Second.
Okay, any additional comments from commissioners? All right, so let's adjourn. The commission will adjourn to an adjourned regular meeting on Monday, March 13, 2023. Thank you very much. Be safe. God bless.